All right, so we're here at the Q&A portion of this video, and this is like the last little section of this video. Thank y'all for watching and being here for the journey. Let's get into your questions. The main question that people asked me was, how much did it cost? And did I get it covered by insurance? And how do you get it covered by insurance? I did not get it covered by insurance. I attempted to get it covered by insurance. Long story short, if you want to go that way, it's going to be difficult because you need an extensive backlog of appointments and recommendations from past doctors to be able to say that breast reduction surgery is the answer to this particular ailment that you made the appointment for. Back pain is a common one, pain from like bra straps, things like that. I've tried to do it that way, and I literally went to the doctor one time and I was like, hey, my back hurts. And she was like, oh, well, you know, pain starts in the head. I said, okay, so bitch, you're not serious. All these degrees on the wall and you're gonna be this unserious? So I ended up just paying out of pocket, and my final payment ended up being $13,300. The actual surgery itself was $8,800, and then the operating room and anesthesia came in at $4,500. And I did get an add-on like recovery IV cocktail called IV optimization. I would look into it. It's completely optional. It was an extra $350, so I guess I technically paid $13,650. Did you decide on size, and was there doctor input? So I knew that I didn't want to be completely flat chested, just because I didn't think it would look proportionate with my body. I knew I wanted something, and when I made the decision, which I'll get into later, on top surgery versus breast reduction, I knew that I could be happy with just smaller boobs. I didn't think that flat chest was the only destination where I would be happy. So that's why I just went and decided to do smaller boobs. Also, my surgery was gender affirming. Just so you know, all plastic surgery is gender affirming. I'm not arguing with y'all on that. When it came to the size, I knew I just wanted them to be smaller. So I was like, B cup. B cup has always been my go-to. I've never considered C or A. C just felt like still too big, and then A felt like it just wouldn't look right on me or like on my body, because I'm not skinny. I know I may look small, and I guess I am small, but like I'm not a skinny person, and so I just didn't think that an A cup would look right. And so I just went B, because B, my clothes are gonna fit how I want. I can go no bra and still feel comfortable. My clothes are gonna look decent. You know, I'm not gonna go through some big mental thing by having a B cup. So that's why I just went with the B cup. It just felt the most approachable and appropriate for what my needs are. Was there doctor input? Not really. The only thing that the doctor really would say is, which I do appreciate, and if your doctor doesn't say this, definitely make the note. But when I told him that I wanted a B cup, he asked me if I wanted to lean more on the smaller side or the fuller side of a B cup. And I made sure to mention on the smaller side of the B cup. So that was the only like input that he really had. But I had heard from other people that their doctors had like given suggestions just based on like someone's frame, like their body frame. If I had bigger hips and an ass, then maybe he would have stepped in and said something. If I was smaller, maybe he would have stepped into something. But I feel like a B cup just made the most sense for me, and so that's what we went with. Don't go in there expecting to be so specific as like, I want to be a 32A if you're, you know, a 36H, because your back is the same size. It's just the amount of boob that they're getting rid of. How did your style change post-surgery? I'm only a week out. It's Saturday when I'm filming this, and I got it done on Monday. So I haven't had much of a chance to like be out in the world with them and getting dressed with them. I actually took a walk today to go get a coffee, and just like the slight bouncing of them, my nipples rubbing it up against the little gauze, like it was a lot. It was like sensory overload. So it's gonna be like at least another week, I'm gonna say, before I can like really try clothes on like that and to see what my style is. But most likely my style won't change that much. If anything, I'll probably go down a size, because when your boobs are big, you tend to account for that in the sizing. So prior to surgery, I was getting larges and everything. So now post-surgery, I might opt for like more small, medium. But my actual style will probably not change that much. What am I doing for exercise during recovery? Girl, nothing. Exercise? Bitch, when I took a walk to go get a coffee and I felt my nipples just slightly, ever so slightly, rubbing up against the gauze in this Coles Lane Bryant ass bra. I said, ooh, I need to sit down. You're not supposed to exercise. This isn't like pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pregnant. When you're pregnant, you can hit a Stairmaster or two, but I tried to dance a little bit last night, and even that, I did a little too much. And I have great knees. Very smooth, swift movements over here. And even then, I wasn't smooth enough to be able to not like rock my chest a little bit. So girl, yeah, ain't no exercise. The fuck? And I'm almost positive that he said no exercise for at least like 6 to 9 weeks, maybe even closer to 9. So someone asked me, top surgery versus breast reduction, like what was my thought process for deciding one versus the other? And it really came down to, as I mentioned earlier, I would be happy with just smaller boobs. I don't need to have a flat chest. Like, it would be nice, I guess, but once again, when I got to the core of what I was actually trying to fix, it was not to appear masculine. Had nothing to do with masculinity and everything to do with the fact that I feel like I never really got a chance to own my femininity because the most feminine thing about me was exploited for so long. And I've never been interested in the conversation around masculinity. I'm not even that interested in my own masculinity. I've only ever been interested in being a woman and how my womanhood just might be an expansion on what you believe womanhood to be. That is a much more interesting story to me, for me, because it's my story. I'm not here to tell anybody what their story needs to be or anything like that. And I knew that if I was just born with a smaller chest, I know that I would have been able to develop a comfort within myself much sooner. The comfort that I have in being me comes from a lot of time of tweaking and crafting the person that I wanted to be to the point where I am now existing as a person who I've designed. And now I can even say that designed even a step further as far as getting the breast reduction. So the top surgery thing just felt more aesthetic than anything else. Because as I said, I'm not interested in my masculinity like that. I'm not interested in engaging with it or like emphasizing it. None of that shit. And so top surgery just felt like more of a very specific, pointed decision, even though it is not for everybody. This is, once again, I'm just speaking for myself, because there are many women who get top surgery who also have no desire to appear more masculine. They just wanted to have that for whatever reason, and you can have whatever reasons you have. I just didn't think that I needed top surgery. Top surgery for me just felt, especially as a queer person who is more mask identifying, like it just felt like I'm overshooting. Like it felt like I'm almost like overcorrecting, you know, and I'm doing more than what I need to. Where did they cut? I'm gonna draw a picture because obviously I don't want to get flagged. So I think they're called anchors. I could be wrong, but this is usually a lot of what you're gonna see. If you Google it, you're gonna see a lot of this. This is what I have. My incision is smaller, and instead of the anchor shape being from left to right like that, like over here, mine just kind of offshoots off into a little wing towards the outside. And so it's like that on both sides. So this one, you know, from the nipple down, little wing out this way, and then on this one down, and then the wing goes out that way. I don't know why they decided to do this, and I want to argue that maybe it's because everybody has obviously a different situation. Listen, some people got complicated orders. They got milkshakes and fries and no salt on the fries. Me, I just ordered a number one. I wanna say that is why mine looks the way it does. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait to go to the doctor for them to take everything off, because I think that will end up changing the way that the incisions look and the way that the scarring looks. But that's what mine looked like. How did you feel about the size straight out of surgery? I'm not gonna hold you. Straight out of surgery, I was like, who is this 11-year-old that I'm looking at? I thought they were too small. But once again, remember when I told y'all I didn't want to go too small, because I still wanted to be like, I'm a woman, I'm a whole lady. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to feel like I had something, you know? This is the first day that I'm seeing myself without my factory settings titties. So it's already jarring, period. So I think I thought they were too small just because they were just such a stark difference than what I was used to, number one. Number two, they had me strapped in. They definitely had me strapped in. So I think that's another reason why they just seem too small. But now that I'm about a week out, I've taken the bra off because I've had a shower and stuff like that. I can see that they're actually fine. Like, they're actually perfect. I'm so grateful. No one asked this, but I'm just gonna give you this information because it's important, because I've learned in my process of research and also just talking to people lose their nipple sensation. I had mine straight out the gate. But yeah, at first I thought they were too small, but now I think that they're like perfect. Like two perfect little spring apricots. And then how did it change the way clothes fit? Like I said, I haven't changed my clothes a whole lot. I haven't like worn a whole lot of fits, but the biggest difference that I've seen is that it just gives you more room, like in the chest area. When you have bigger boobs and you wear like compression tops, I never really wore binders like that just because they were uncomfortable and I don't love how they look under clothes. That's another thing. When you have bigger boobs, like sometimes the binders just emphasize how big they are because it just looks awkward underneath your clothes. It's like, while it may have the illusion of being flatter, it also just creates a weird shape. And the same way that if you have big boobs and you think that you're making them look smaller by wearing a sports bra, you're just giving yourself a uni boob shape. Not for me. Yeah, the only thing I can say about the way that they've changed the way my clothes fit is I just have much more room in the chest area, buttons, zippers, things like that. There's just not as much tension, and you just feel the fabric of your clothes a little bit more, because when you wear t-shirts with bigger boobs, you know, they barely even touch your stomach half the time. So I can feel this on my stomach now. I can just feel the fabric like touching the sides, like underneath my armpits more. Stuff like that. How did you balance accepting your body versus changing your body? But I knew once I started my workout journey that like I liked what I'm seeing, but the one thing that I look at in the mirror that just doesn't feel like me was my boobs. And so that's how I knew, like, it was never about accepting my body the way it was. Like, I guess I did to a certain extent, to the most that I could, but I knew it was never going to not be something that I wanted. Done everything under the sun in order to accept my body the way it was. I learned how to dress myself completely, to the point where when I got my surgery, people were like, girl, I thought you had little titties this whole time. That's just because I know how to dress myself to the point where it looks like I have small titties, but I don't. I never have. And I learned how to dress myself to the point where I was comfortable in everything that I have. I like how I look. I don't feel triggered getting dressed. I don't feel triggered when I have clothes on. Even working out, like, I got my body even in a better shape, and I still don't like this thing. There's just so many things like that I had done to try to distract myself from this part of my body that had always given me drama. And so I just always knew. It wasn't even really a matter of like balancing. It's just like I just did everything that I could, to the point where there's only one other thing that I could do, which was the surgery. How has the recovery process been? The recovery process has been okay. It hasn't been as like, I'm not as bedridden as I thought I was going to be. And I do think that it is a choice. Like, if you want to completely rot in bed for a whole week after your surgery, you're fine to do that. Like, you're not gonna hurt by doing that. Just like I don't think that you will be hurt by doing what I did, which is kind of a hybrid of the two. Pretty much around nighttime, I park it. And then during the day, I'm chilling most of the day, chilling on the couch, chilling at my desk. I'm not like, baby, we're not going to running canyons up in flames. But like, you're not going to catch me down at the Planet Fitness. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember him telling me multiple times, he was basically like, make sure that you're getting up and you're walking at least once an hour post-surgery while you're in recovery, because blood clots and stuff can happen if you literally just rot. So I haven't been lifting my arms that much. I am able to make myself food just fine. I showered today by myself. And it's just a lot of moving slow. Like, the recovery process, you're in recovery, and it can feel like you're good and you're decent and you're solid. You're not feeling any pain. You're not feeling your incisions. You know, your swelling is down. So it feels like you might be like, oh, I'm ready. Like, I'm in a much better spot than I thought I would be. But I would just keep in mind that, like, even though you feel okay, there's still healing that needs to happen. So don't try to do the renegade. Just relax. But the recovery process has actually been like pretty chill, I'm not gonna lie. Where did I get it done? I got mine done at the Krieger Institute of Plastic Surgery in Thousand Oaks. And I'm not gonna lie, they ate. My tits look great. Now they're fresh. They're fresh. So, you know, they need to drop a little bit more. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I feel like I look like, you know, Barbie's little sister when they came out with that doll, and it was Barbie's little sister and her titties grew when you pulled a little thing in the back. That's how I feel. I feel like my titties, the way that they're sitting, it gives very much like little sister Barbie. Naturally, they're going to like start to drop a little bit. And that's why they give you this bra to keep it on for as long as possible so that they can stay up, because it's nice when you get your breast reduction, you do get also a breast lift. But honestly, for the types of clothes that I wear, I don't need my titties to be sitting up. Like I don't need that. So most likely when they give me the green light to take the bra off, I will let the bra come off, and I will just have like the natural sag that I prefer. They ate. My incisions look very clean. I have that anchor type incision, but mine is not as big as the anchors that I've seen. Mine's actually a lot smaller and a lot cleaner. They did an amazing job. Everybody was super nice. I had hella setbacks, as y'all can see from this video, and everybody was so accommodating I could just tell that they wanted to make sure that I was comfortable and ready to get it over with. Not in like a rushing me kind of way, but just like in a, girl, we know that you made time for this. We know that you set time aside for this. You paid your money up. Like, we know that you want to get this done. So let's take care of you and make sure that you get the thing that you paid for. And I would recommend them 10, 20, 30 times over. My parents, I talked to my parents a million times over. They were really, really, really great. And y'all, that is it. This journey for where we're at currently is coming to a close, but stay tuned on this channel. I'm going to be doing more vlogs as we go on, and I'm going to take y'all to like my 2-week post-op appointment, and then just give you like little things, little bits of information that I come across along the way. And other than that, thank y'all for being with me on this dramatic ass vlog, and wishing me nothing but speedy recoveries and safety from the fires. I appreciate y'all very much, and I will see y'all very soon in another one. Bye.